Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you today, all right? In this video, what I'm going to talk about is why I think the market could be in trouble tomorrow and why you might want to brace yourself, all right? Now, nothing that I say in this video is financial advice. If you want financial advice, go talk to a licensed financial advisor. Also, nothing that I say in this video is set in stone. I can't push no button to make the market go up or down. But based on the things that I'm seeing, based on the market structure, based on the catalyst, I think that the market could bleed tomorrow. All right? I know everybody wants everything to just keep going up, but based on what I'm seeing, I think that, certain stocks and market wide, at least in the morning, we could be coming down. And I'm gonna break this down why. Now, we got market structure. We also have catalysts, okay? Now, I want you guys to understand this. The stock market always has a consistent flow of catalysts, right? Of catalyst. What is a catalyst? It is something that propels something further. So in the stock market, a catalyst could be earnings. A catalyst could be FOMC. A catalyst could be reports, data, CPI, PPI, big news, a Donald Trump tweet. That is what a catalyst is. Now, tomorrow, a lot of people don't even know that we have a big catalyst tomorrow. We are either going to gap up or gap down, but based on the market structure, I think we're going to gap down, right? Based on the market structure, I think we're going to gap down. And if we gap down, people are not going to know why we gap down. If we gap up, people are not going to know why we gapped up. But I'm telling you that the reason is because a catalyst. Now, what is going to be the catalyst for tomorrow? Let me break this down for you, and then we're going to go over some market structure. Right? The catalyst is going to be non-farm payroll. Okay? And unemployment reports tomorrow. Right? And an unemployment rate. Okay? But we got non-farm payroll tomorrow. So, let's break this down. Very simply put, what is non-farm payroll, y'all? It measures the number of workers in the United States, except those who work in farming, private households, nonprofits, and sole proprietorships or self-employment. So the workforce, okay? It excludes nonprofits, private households, farming, sole proprietorships, entrepreneurs, because they're not working in active service military members, because they are not a part of the workforce. They are government property. So, non-farm payroll measures the workforce numbers in the United States. Okay? Down here, right? Non-farm payrolls are an employment data release that demonstrate the change in the total number of paid U.S. workers across all major industries and businesses except for the agricultural industry and private household workers. Okay? So, that's what non-farm payroll is. Now, this data is getting released an hour before the market opens tomorrow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down for you guys and show you this. Right? So, right here. Can you give me expectations and estimates for non-farm payroll data tomorrow? Here's what I found. Tomorrow's report covers July 2026 data and is a genuinely important one given the recent trend. Recent context, the U.S. economy added 57,000 jobs in June, well below a downwardly revised 129K, okay, in May, and forecast 110,000. Significant miss. Right? Significant miss. It was the lowest job gain in 4 months, following 3 consecutive months of stronger than expected gains. April was revised down from 179,000 to 148,000. And May was revised down from 172,000 to 129,000. So there's been a pattern of downward revisions alongside the headline miss, which tends to compound the labor market cooling down narrative, right? The June forecast was 114,000 versus an actual 57,000. People was expecting for them to say we had 114,000, people in the workforce, new jobs, but we only have 57K. That's like having earnings and missing your revenue by 57,000 or having bad guidance, right? On tomorrow specifically, consensus forecasts for the July payrolls figure were not yet available, right? At the time the source was published, wasn't able to pull it specifically for July. It's possible the forecast hadn't fully firmed up yet in what I found, or it's sitting in the source, right? Watch this. This situation arrives 35 days before FOMC, meeting on September 16th, and alongside the August 12th CPI release. So next week, we're going to have CPI, right? It will form the core of the data set informing the Fed's September rate decision. A strong labor market typically reduces the urgency for the Fed to cut rates, while a weak report increases the argument for easing, right? What this means for tomorrow's volatility. Given June's sharp miss and the pattern of downward revisions, the market is likely primed for another weakish print, and any surprise in either direction relative to whatever consensus lands on could move rate expectations and equities meaningfully, which lines up exactly with the elevated implied volatility you're seeing on AMD Flow. A weak number would generally support the rate cut hopes, often reads as bullish for equities in this environment, while a strong beat could push back on the cut of expectations and pressure growth names harder. All right. So that's what we have going on tomorrow morning. So everything you see right now at after hours does not matter. It just doesn't matter. So close your laptop, get off of Robinhood, practice, go read a book. Okay. Now, when we go to the charts, right? Let's really think about this stuff, right? Let's really think about this stuff. Let's go to the daily. Now, what I'm seeing is we got SPY. Okay. Now let's look at SPY. Now SPY came up. They gapped down slightly, popped up, still had a red day. Right? They tried to recover and couldn't. IWM. Same thing. Right? Same thing. They gapped down, recovered, tried to recover, rejected, and then came all the way back down. Right? So, that's IWM. Look at QQQ. They gapped down, popped up. They had a green day, but when we're looking at structure, we still got this gap to fill right down here, right? We could be distributing down here because when you look at like the 4 hour, right? We came right here. We could even come down to the 30-minute if we wanted to, but right here, popped up, rejected, and now we could be distributing all the way down to this order block down at 660, but not that low, right? Maybe a little bit higher. When we look at the daily, we have this gap right here down to 701 that they were trying to come down to today, but they didn't come down to fill that gap today. They filled the gap to the upside. So because they filled the gap to the upside and then kind of rejected a little bit, I'm thinking that we gonna come down and finally fill this gap right here down to 702 and maybe even a little bit more, right? Look at all the other stocks. Amazon, same thing. Sold off, tried to pop up, rejected, came back down. This is a 312 on Amazon. Look at Google. We got a 3-1 set up on Google as well, right? Sold off, consolidated, a 2 down candle is next. They rejected off of this area of liquidity right here, right? Tesla, same concept. Fell 2 down, but they rejected off of this area of liquidity right here off the daily. Nvidia, they came up, fell 2 down, fell 2 up. So we're going to see what Nvidia does tomorrow. Meta, fell 2 up, a 1 candle right here. We have room to come down on Meta all the way down to 578. Let's look at Apple. They had a 2 up, a failed 2 up right here. We got a whole bunch of sellers on Apple right here. This is all the tech companies right here, y'all. These are all tech companies looking bearish, and we have data, non-farm payroll, being reported tomorrow. We got Microsoft. Microsoft is the only one right now on the daily that looks bullish, but once again, we got non-farm payroll. We can see Microsoft pop down here to about 479, right, before we get a bounce. Okay? So what I want you guys to pay attention to, oh, I wasn't even showing it. Let me go back real quick, right? I told you guys, SPY right here. Okay, failed 2 up, gap down, popped up, rejected, came right back down. IWM, same thing. Failed 2 up, gap down, popped up, filled the gap, came right back down. QQQ, failed 2 up, liquidity grab, gap down, popped up, right? We're in this, but we got a gap to fill right down here, right? We got a gap to fill right down here. We filled the gap to the upside, which lets me know we got the liquidity up here. We could really be accumulating, getting ready to dump. Because when you look at the 30-minute time frame, right, we kind of was in this little area right here. We popped up, and then we came down here. So this move today just looks like a retest of a little bit higher level inside of the previous day, and then we're going to distribute and we're going to come all the way down here to $700 because we have a gap to fill down here. Look at that gap right there. So we got downward momentum. Amazon on the daily, right? What do we have? We got a 3-1 setup. Bearish 3, bullish 1. We consolidated. 2 down is next. We got Google. Okay. What do we have on Google? We got a 3-1 setup. A bearish 3, a bearish 1, right? Next up is going to be a 2 down candle. We consolidated today. We rejected off this area of liquidity right here on Google. We got Tesla, right? I said right here, failed 2 down, right? But we had right here, we popped up, rejected off this whole area of liquidity right here, and then we came down. I said Nvidia was on a failed 2 up today, so we could get a confirmation tomorrow and then come down, right? Meta, we got a 1 bar right here, consolidated today after a failed 2 up. They tried to recover, they didn't recover too much. Now we can see Meta coming down to about 579. We got Apple. They popped up today, rejected off this order block, failed 2 up right here. We can see Apple coming down, right? Microsoft, I said, is the only one that looks bullish, but that's just right here. We do have an order block up here at 509, but we could be coming down to about 479 before we get a bounce, right? Now, Microsoft's structure doesn't look as bearish as the other company structure, so we do have to see. But when I'm looking at all of these indexes and I'm looking at the market, all I saw today was a whole bunch of retests that we rejected off of, and we could potentially really be coming down, and the non-farm payroll could be the catalyst to make the market come down. Now, it could be the catalyst to make the market confirm and go higher, but based on the trends and stuff that we seeing, it might be weak, and it could be a catalyst for stocks to gap down, come down, fill some gaps, get some liquidity, and then we find a support level. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm looking at, you guys. I hope that this video helped you guys out. Like I always say, make sure you get up out your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And like I always say, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to holler at you guys on tomorrow's video. Y'all stay smooth. Peace.